Thank you, Chair, fellow panelists, specially invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning. Today I'm going to present on the topic, Caribbean Embassies, Bridging the Gap Between the Caribbean Diaspora and the Home Country as a part of an initiative to stimulate growth and development in the region. Just before I go into my presentation, a brief overview. I will be setting the context, examining a diaspora framework, examining the methodology, analysis of results, then the conclusion and policy recommendations. Let me first begin by saying that the Caribbean has been created from a migratory flow of people. Evidence of this goes as far back to the rediscovery of the Caribbean in 1492. However, in recent times, globalization has brought with it an integration of people across national, political, and geographical boundaries, which has resulted in the Caribbean having one of the largest rates of net migration. From the table, it is evident that migration rates have been on the increase. For the year 2000, 24% of Antigua and Barbuda's population had migrated, 11% for St. Kitts and 9% for Barbados. What is interesting to note is that the majority of people migrating from the Caribbean region have tertiary level education. In fact, the table illustrates that 89% of migrants from Suriname have tertiary level education, 85% for Guyana, and 82% for Jamaica. Woodhull 1997 postulated that the real wealth of a nation is in its human resource. If this is in fact true, it means that a large share of the Caribbean's wealth is located in the Caribbean diaspora in the metropolitan countries. What is the diaspora? Sheffer 2003 defined the diaspora as ethnic minority groups of migrant origins residing and acting in the host countries, but maintaining strong sentimental and material link with their countries of origin or their homeland. It is important to note that the Caribbean diaspora is a cultural diaspora which is held together by a common culture and identity. The Caribbean diaspora consists of a large group of Caribbean people residing outside their country of residence. According to NERS 2004, the majority of the Caribbean diaspora is located in the United States of America, accounting for 80% of the diaspora, with smaller but significant percentages residing in Canada, the UK, the Netherlands, and France. Given our economic situation in the Caribbean diaspora has the potential to stimulate growth and development in the region. And let me just ask that you pay attention to this very important framework. From the diagram, which examines a framework which illustrates the different avenues through which the diaspora can contribute to the development of the region. One of these avenues include diaspora transfers. Diaspora transfers takes into account cash remittances, non-cash remittances such as barrels, packages, and cargoes, as well as social remittances, which includes the ideas, practices, identities, and social capital that flow from the sending to the receiving country. Another avenue through which the diaspora can impact development is through direct diaspora investments, commonly known as DDI. This takes into account the investment of human capital, which refers to the transfer of ideas, experiences, skills, research results between the members of the diaspora and the home country. Financial investments, which takes into account diaspora bonds, bank accounts, and insurance, and real sector investment, which takes into consideration trade in nostalgic goods and small and medium business startup. Further, the Caribbean diaspora can impact growth and development through hometown associations. These associations, which comprise of migrants who are from the same community or country of origin, who reside in a distinct community in the host country. These associations have the potential to impact the region socially, economically, culturally, and politically. However, in order for this to be made possible, there is the need for a facilitator between the Caribbean diaspora and the home country. Caribbean embassies can serve as this facilitator, hence bridging the gap between the diaspora and the Caribbean region. In this paper, a sample survey was conducted with the purpose of understanding the role embassies play in enabling their diaspora to contribute to the growth and development of their home country, as well as the potential of the Caribbean embassies to help mobilize the resources of the Caribbean diaspora. A total of 24 embassies in the US, UK, and Canada were surveyed for the following countries: Jamaica, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, and Antigua. A structured questionnaire was administered via telephone interviews to the embassy representative. Purposive sampling was employed using countries with a very high migration rate from the region. The survey research has shown that members of the Caribbean diaspora are in frequent communication with their respective embassies, courtesy diaspora associations. These associations have monthly meetings where representatives from the embassies are usually in attendance. Embassies are also in face-to-face contact